Mannadium doesn't really like mind going second. Its board is strong, or at least its abilities to play into boards is strong enough that it can just do so, and it has all those powerful spells to do so as well. But I think Exosister really needs to go first to be able to set up at all. Otherwise, Mannadium could just take it away very quickly.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, Doug got this far in the tournament knowing that, so hopefully he showcases what it's like to go second with Exosister at some point in this duel.
7.
Well, he will have to, because Brennan rolled an 8 here, and almost certainly he will be going first.
There we go. Get to see the opening hand here.
It looks like Visas, Arrival, Reichardt, Rhoda, and Reichphobia. Looks like we're going to go start with that reinforcement of the army, likely going for a copy of Mannadium Ramhart.
Mannadium Ramhart.
Ooh, signed.
Wonder whose autograph that is.
Could be anyone. Who would be the most iconic Mannadium player?
Well, it might have been one of our top 4 competitors from last week, but let's focus on Brennan for now. Going to start with the opening play. Thinking pensively there, was almost about to commit to board.
Activate Reichphobia.
We're just going ahead and go and add either a Visas or a Scareclaw monster. Probably just a Scareclaw monster at this point, because you already have a copy of Visas Starfrost in your hand.
Does let you get that combo going. Pretty easy to get things set up. Grab that Scareclaw Arrival after Link summoning, but doesn't seem like Doug has anything to stop it.
Yep, there is the Reichphobia, or sorry, Reichardt here. Going to be able to add the Arrival.
Scareclaw Arrival.
Going to keep the fun going here. Likely to Link summon. Yep, there we go.
Into Scareclaw Lightheart. Lightheart effect.
Lightheart being able to add an additional copy of the field spell here.
Yep.
Certainly helpful, because you have to remember that field spell's not just about the searching, it's also about that 3 monsters in defense position, allowing you to destroy 1 card basically for free.
Yeah, absolutely. Which can be useful on your own monsters if you need to trigger something along the lines of Mannadium Meek. It looks like we're just going to go right up from Visas here. Going to destroy the Lightheart.
Once per dual effect of Lightheart.
Just going to be able to put it right back on the field.
It's going to be Visa Starfrost and Starfrost Services.
Yeah, it looks like he's trying to lead with an early Baron de Fleur before he commits any of his other monsters.
That would be smart. We are getting up on that as Nibiru numbers.
Use the Rampage effect in hand to destroy the Reichardt and special summon itself.
Probably going to grab Mannadium Meek, I would assume.
Mannadium Meek.
Yep, there it is. Meek's able to special summon itself. Yep. Or the 1521, because none of these stats are currently being boosted by the field spell, I believe.
Synchro to Baron the floor.
There is the Baron. And now, is he going to be using the effect of Baron to destroy his own Meek?
Definitely could do that.
But not that it would really do anything, but it just, he could.
Doug's looking at his hand pensively. Might have had something he could activate, or just think about next turn.
Yeah, I think he's trying to like navigate what he expects the field to look like at the end of this, and then try to figure out what his hand can do into that position.
Looks like Scareclaw Kashtira and the Scareclaw Lightheart going to turn into Cross Sheep.
Right, so now he's going to be able to go into Vicious Astrolaud, using that Visa Starfrost in either the Rum or the Reichardt here. Looks like he's going to use the Reamheart.
Historical duelists know the power of banishing a light and a dark monster from the graveyard.
Yep. From your extra deck, though, that's
that's pretty crazy.
All right, so we're getting a lot of effects here. The Astrolaud is going to destroy the Meek. Cross Sheep is going to be able to resummon that Reichardt. And then Meek will be able to summon another monster here, just another Meek.
Likely level modulated up to 4.
I will make this level 4.
There we go.
Synchro summon.
Oh, it's going to go into Crimson Dragon?
This would be a great way to bring out Bestial Dissipator.
Crimson Dragon effect targeting Baron?
Yeah, it looks like he's going to immediately go into Baron to go into Spotter.
It's so wild that over the years we've gotten these big level 10 Synchro decks. You know, level 10 Synchro used to feel impossible, and now, well, Brennan's showing how easy it is to do.
Yeah, they were often so overlooked because there's such a limited amount of powerful ones, and now there's not really any shortage of them, except, like, I mean, you always kind of stare down at that Baron de Fleur. That's the one you expect to see every single time.
Now the question is, are we going to finally get to see Draco Knight Equest in this duel?
Yeah, this is one of the positions where it would be extremely effective, but a main deck Super Polymerization at this point in the format, I'm not really sure if I'd expect it.
Probably not, but it would be nice to finally see such a fan-favorite 5Ds card. Looks like we're going to link again here using Visa Starfrost and Cross Sheep.
Maybe for Little Knight, yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta have the Little Knight. And then he's going to use the effect of Little Knight because an extra monster was used for it. He's going to be able to banish his own Astrolaud from the graveyard.
Pass turn.
So that's going to be it for now. Of course, that Bestial Dissipator can be used to put the Astrolabe back to destroy a monster after the effect is activated. So that's a huge play that could be seen later. Allows you to run less vicious Astrolabes too. Taking a quick look at that Bestial Dissipator in hand.
Yes.
Now this is going to be interesting because we just talked about how difficult it might be for an Exosister deck to start its plays from here, especially since the graveyard has already been accessed.
Yeah, and I don't know if we've mentioned it yet, but I don't know how an Exosister deck really plays that well into Little Knight, because even if you do trigger their effects, Little Knight would be just able to chain and immediately banish that monster, which would not allow it to rank itself up.
Oh, you're absolutely right. Magnifica, Exosister's Magnifica may not even be able to do what it needs to do because of SP Little Knight. Now we are seeing Martha here.
Martha, obviously the strongest start for the Exosister deck. Honestly surprised that Baron wasn't just used on it. But I guess it's not really doing anything until it ranks itself up. Like with the both bodies, because it's not like you're triggering anything here.
No, absolutely. With the SP Little Knight, you also have that extra advantage of just, you know, banish when you need to after they activate an effect.
Is that an activated effect, or okay?
I was able to special summon myself from the hand because of the Exosister's controls.
And notice the question there for Brennan, is that an activated effect? I think that feels like, hey, I want to use this SP Little Knight as soon as I can.
Or at least consider the option, right? Like, you know, maybe he doesn't need to use it, but he just wants to know that he can. Okay.
Effect on summon, Dweller.
Right, so no activated effects in the graveyard for Brennan this turn.
Is that's an activated effect?
Yes, that is an activated effect.
To that, I will chain Baron to negate and destroy.
Sure.
Interesting. Okay, so Baron is going to be used up now.
So now he's just looking at the Bestial Dissipator and the SP Little Knight, but that's still a lot.
Now there is a normal summon here.
Add a spirit monster to my hand.
Add the spirit monster to your hand.
And then spirits can't be special summoned, they bounce back to the hand during the end phase.
Alright.
Yeah, this is always such a neat additional engine to the Exosister strategy, because you get to put up a rank 4 on the field without actually special summoning a monster out before doing so. So you get to still maintain all your Exosister effects while making an Exosister naturally.
Now, it's not every day that you see spirits in competitive play.
But this is the crazy interaction that you don't see super often, but it's the extreme value of Little Knight banishing Baron as well as another monster on the field. So when the Baron comes back, it has not used its effect on the field yet. So it's reset.
SP Little Knight, definitely the MVP of Age of Overlord. It's really showing its flexibility not only to protect yourself, but also to kind of reuse your own effects.
Yeah, the card being extremely strong. You've seen it a mainstay in almost every strategy at one, but we've seen it in some strategies going up to even 3 copies in the deck.
It is interesting. I wonder if maybe this Aratama and Sakitama might combine, because that's the thing, any 2 monsters. Very strong card. I don't know if we've seen 2 monsters combined into something that strong since maybe Predaplant Verte Anaconda.
Yeah, I think they are very similar, right? Except it doesn't require any of those main deck requirements. You just have everything you need in your extra deck, given not necessarily as powerful as what Anaconda could do, but arguably, maybe it is.
It definitely keeps you safe. I think that's what's so important is SP Little Knight gives you confidence to start playing the game.
Exosister card, and then if I have her girlfriend engraved, she can special summon immediately.
So Pax is being used here. Going to go and pay 800 to add an Exosister card.
See which one we're grabbing here.
Engrave, I can add in special Stella.
All right.
So we've got Stella on the field now. We do have 2 monsters again. Might be time to SP Little Knight in revenge, but we'll see.
You know, I was looking for a way to like concisely explain how they special summon themselves, and I think Doug used a really good phrase, just the girlfriend. If they have the appropriate friend in the graveyard, you can special summon it from the hand off the effect of Pax.
Like
Teamwork makes the dream work.
But can also target the grave, and then it can detach to search a spell or trap.
Okay.
So we're summoning Kalis here.
The summon, the banish effect is on summon, or?
No, it's just I think quick effect during the turn it's summoned.
Okay.
Those players doing a great job of communicating their moves to one another. Very important in any Yu-Gi-Oh competition.
Yeah, Doug really explaining his cards well so that Bren has all the knowledge he needs.
Can you just fan out your grave real quick?
Yes.
Grave, very important to the Exosister strategy.
Scare Cash, Lightheart, Cross Shape, Visa, Starfrost, and Rhoda.
In-grave effect?
It does not. Just the destroy summon effect.
Yeah, no crazy grave effects at the moment. You might want to get the Visas out of there just so that it's not available for Astrolabe next turn.
Can I read?
Yeah.
Probably a good idea.
If all
looks like we're adding Returnia.
Exosisters, minimum 1, pay 8, target this card. One card your opponent controls are in their graveyard. Banish it, then apply one of the following effects.
It's nice to see Exosister doing well this late into the tournament. Obviously, we're still about in the mid rounds, but it's one of those decks where it has to kind of have things go right for it. But once it does, it does. It just makes a trap.
Yeah, like the individual bodies of the Xyz monsters are very powerful, and if you're ever actually playing into the Exosister effects, the deck feels a lot stronger.
Because of right phobia?
Yeah, so it's at 23.
Yes.
Because for each different.
Honestly, a really good meta pick today, too, because when you think about everything we featured today, everybody was touching the graveyard.
Yeah, I mean, some decks have a lot more flexibility, but when you consider a deck like Tournament, it's a lot harder.
23 over
Okay, so effectively dealing with the Little Knight now, even though it has used its effect already, so at least the Baron will be coming back.
And then in battle phase still,
yes.
Machias effect, target the...
He's going to be using the effect of Machias now to banish a card, and it's going to go after the Despotter.
All right.
Okay, smart there, too, making sure.
Yep.
So what happened to the monster banished off Little Knight? That wasn't the Baron? Was it used to negate something with Despotter?
I believe it was, but at the same time, I'm not sure. It should come back. If both monsters leave and one isn't able to come back, the other monster still does come back.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we still should see Baron, which is insane.
Yeah, just like, I mean, that's the other interaction of Little Knight in this strategy specifically, because you're able to use the Spotter as a second ability using your opponent's banished cards, and they don't even get the card back anymore.
So we've got our Pot of Prosperity here. Looks like we're seeing Triple Tactics Thrust, a Forbidden Lance, 2 copies of Martha. Looks like Exosister packs and one other card.
The Infinite Permanence?
Oh, it is an Infinite Permanence. Okay, the Rarity Collection art threw me off there.
Yeah, no, that looks like a Europrint Ultimate Rare.
Okay, interesting. Gorgeous card nonetheless.
Absolutely. You got to get all the swirls. So Doug is going to use Thrust here. Now, all versions of Tactics are available. Oh, he's just going to go for his in-engine Exosister, what is that?
Looks like Bodice.
Yeah, so he has both the Destruction, or like the Banish, as well as the Summon effects now.
No, he's doing good. He is creating that almighty box that his opponent's going to have to play into.
I mean, Brennan's going to be able to just summon Baron back to start his turn.
But what a way to start a turn, right? We all wish that Baron de Fleur would just drop into our lap.
End phase, Baron will return because of SP's effect.
Yep. What an incredible card to just have return and be able to use both of its effects again.
Ooh, and it looks like a Reamheart off the top. It's going to be pretty strong here.
Definitely has a way to play back into it. Brennan is not out of this duel just yet.
Main phase.
I mean, crazy to even consider that Exosister was able to crack that field.
Well, I mean, that's the power of running Spirit Monsters, apparently.
There's a lot of extenders.
Exosister certainly has a lot more room, I think, for tech slots, too. So it's fun to be able to add those out-of-engine cards to kind of keep that extending going.
Absolutely. It looks like, I wonder if you were supposed to lead with the Ryphobia, or you were supposed to attempt to just use Baron to destroy something outright.
Yeah, so I'll be targeting this one.
All right, so he's just going to go ahead and banish the Ryphobia, which is fine, I think. I don't think you care too much. You're not going to use the Baron on that. And then you're going to try to go after one of the other sets at this point, just so you can really eliminate as many variables as you can before you have to commit any of your actual resources.
No, I definitely agree with you on the Baron play. There's no reason to stop things right now.
So, yeah, we might see a chain here. Yeah, so that Returnia could get its additional effect, so that if Vadis resolves first, an Xyz summon will be conducted. Actually, no, it won't, because... Oh, no.
So Returnia would be immediately after the effect resolves Xyz summon an Exosister monster.
Yeah, so it can. So it would be able to do all of it. This is an interesting chain. I think maybe Baron has to be used on this one.
To that one, I will chain Baron de Fleur.
And it looks like he agrees.
We're all putting in work there.
Yep, banish that.
And then Baron can still go and use its destruction effect on the last set here, or the Michaelis, if he really feels like it.
Kind of a tale of two choices, right? The face down could be chainable, but the face up monster, you know, may not.
I mean, you know it's not an infinite permanence because it would have been used. Oh, okay, it's just a call by. That's really strong here on the Visa Starfrost, I think.
I'm going to hit the SP.
Oh, he's going to hit the SP. That's interesting. Yeah.
Maybe to prevent the SP Little Knight from being a factor next turn?
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to have a next turn, really, but we'll have to see because he doesn't know about the Rumheart in hand.
Oh, and he moved fast.
Yeah, he wanted to keep him off one of those level 4 heart monsters as much as he could, but seeing just one, he knows how deep this deck can go.
What's up?
That was a really good, decisive decision from Doug. It's one of those things where you can, let the match play out, but this is a Yu-Gi-Oh! Competition, and one of the rules is, well, at the end of the round, you're going to check those life points. And so, effectively, what Doug has done is just cut off that losing road as fast as he can to give him as much time later in the game as possible.
Yeah, being aware that if you're in a position where you cannot win any longer, you want to just move on to the next one, give yourself as much time as possible to finish the game 3. But now he gets to go first against the Mannadium strategy, and given the knowledge that he has, what do you think he tries to do differently, if anything?
So there's not really necessarily like one card that can stop Exosister. It's not necessarily one of those easily stopped decks, but from the flip side, Mannadium doesn't feel great when it gets hit by things like Droll and Lockbird, right? It's always added cards to the hand. So if Doug has access to Droll and Lockbird, I feel like that would be probably a strong way to get things going. Any of the other, traps that are the traditional floodgates, because, Exosister, it can hide behind floodgates. Obviously not something like Skill Drain, but you could put something on the field and then just sit on the Exosister strategy and hope they finally, mess up in some kind of way. But I feel like that would be what I'd be reaching for, and hopefully he packed that in the side deck.
Yeah, those powerful traps can really be a detriment to any strategy, but I don't know how many he has going for him. I wonder, because it's kind of a hit or miss strategy thing, because if you draw all the monster part of their strategy, you're able to go through most things because you can just kind of churn them out. But if you have all the searchers, it's really easy to just not have access to anything, because you are playing into those Droll and Lockbirds. You are playing into things along the lines of anti-spell fragrance, which is something we haven't seen a lot lately.
True, and that would be something that would stop Brennan pretty cold in his tracks, because Mannadium does love its spell cards. The other thing that's weird here, though, is that Doug is going to be going first, so you kind of have to side deck going first in mind. It's not like he's going to have the same experience he just did, where he needs that Droll and Lockbird so bad. Possibly, if he puts cards that activate from the hand in now, he might see that in the first turn, and that's just one less card to get the Exosister strategy going. Yeah,
but at least Exosister does play with only one card. It just needs to see Martha and Martha alone. That's kind of the situation with Exosister, though. It doesn't really matter what the rest of your cards are. I mean, you can have combinations of the matching sisters, but realistically, if you see Martha, you just get to go. That's where you want to be. Or if you just see the appropriate spirit monster.
Good luck.
But I think in any position against Mannadium, it doesn't really matter if you're able to play or not. If you have Droll and Lockbird, they're likely not able to get very far, so you will take the sacrifice of potentially not having the strongest turn one. I think even Cheerleman would keep in Droll going first against this deck.
Hopefully we'll see how that pans out. Looks like the players are just about ready to go here. It's really great to see Exosister again. It's not a bad deck by any means, but it's not a commonly played strategy, but I guess we'll see what happens with it in game 2.
Absolutely. We've seen Exosister have a surprise victory at the remote YCS from Steven Santoli himself, the winner of the previous YCS here in North America at Indianapolis. So a deck that can truly shine when it's not expected.
Yep.
We do see some powerful cards in Brennan's hand here. A lot of spells, though. In fact, I think it is 5 spells. So if there is a copy of Anti-Spell Fragrance for Doug, it could be really decisive here. But I think I also see 5 monsters from him.
So everybody's just got one color.
I can draw a card. As an activated effect.
Oh, well,
Special looks like a draw next.
All right.
Effect is draw.
oh, sure. We would get a draw here off Sophia. And is that a trap card? Looks like another monster.
Looks like another monster, unfortunately.
Not what you want to see here. But at least you're able to get started here.
We can't special from the graveyards this turn, and then also I can detach to search.
Oh, that's mandatory. That's cool.
Yeah. So now he's able to detach, search for Exosister packs, I imagine, just to get access to Martha.
Packs would be a great idea right now, just so you can, again, stack up those cards.
Wait, this one searches monsters immediately. Okay, this one just searches monsters, so you just get Martha.
Cut out the middleman, right to the Martha.
Yeah.
So Martha's going to go ahead and do something.
Michaela searches spells and traps, I believe. Okay.
Anything on Rose?
Nope.
So this allows you to go into Magnifica turn 1, which is pretty strong.
Now, I know we already saw all spells from Brennan, but definitely playing like Nibiru is not a factor here.
Well, that's the thing about Exosister, you just can't avoid Nibiru. There's no point in that deck where it's able to actually do anything relevant where you can actually play around Nibiru. If you want to make Magnifica, you're going to play into it.
Got to do what you got to do.
But at least in this line, you have Vada set up, you have Magnifica, and any other interruptions you have in your hand.
So it looks like he grabbed the Exosister Vadis there, so at least have one trap card to back up his cards.
And there's the Magnifica, using those 2 Xyz monsters.
Such a cool mechanic to say.
I know it has a tag out effect. Does it do anything?
It's just like the weirdest card ever.
Yeah, a card with a lot of effects here.
That can't be cheated out.
We'll tell you what, let's read along with the crowd here. Must be exceeding someone with the above materials. Card can make a second attack during each battle phase, and once per turn, you can detach material from the card, banish one card your opponent controls.
Does not target.
Doesn't target, that's so wild.
And then it swaps itself out.
It does. You can return an Xyz monster you own attached to this card to your extra deck, and then special summon that monster from your extra deck by using the card as material. So it's a really interesting effect that you don't see on a lot of Xyz monsters.
Absolutely. So oftentimes it's going to have that non-target banishing, going to swap out into a Michaelis, which on the turn that it's summoned will also get a targeting banish available as well. So it's a lot of removal in one card. Looks like that Duster is going to be used for that one Vadis here.
Some great value.
Yeah, he's going to be forced to put those monsters out on the field already, making them vulnerable.
But it does create that box again because they will be on the field saying, hey, stay away from your graveyard.
I can't do this.
Oh, he doesn't have the names.
He doesn't have the names. That's interesting. Oh, that's...
Yeah.
That is a huge misstep when you... well, I mean, you had the option to search the other trap. But, I mean, not that it would have mattered into this Duster anyway.
It is a shame there. So we're going to go ahead and put those 800 life points back on the board. And send that card to the graveyard instead.
Oh, we do have a copy of Kashtira Fenrir as well.
Summon Kashtira Fenrir.
Sure.
Which, I mean, fantastic card in general, but when it's able to search your engine, a lot stronger.
Absolutely. We've seen a lot of Fenrirs just kind of showed up. It's a great card in general.
Sure.
Now it's sort of protecting, right? You can go ahead and activate that terraforming. You could add Blasted. Well, you don't care. You're just going to banish your opponent's monster instead.
Yeah, not like this deck can really play around Drone Lockboard. You're choosing to prioritize the field spell that you are trying to get, but not that likely not going to be able to activate it regardless if you are a bit with Drone Lockboard, but you'll at least be able to use Fenrir on the Magnifica.
Well, last time we started with the primitive planet, but looks like we're going to the peaceful planet Calarium this time.
That is the ideal planet to start with, just getting access to your entire Mannadium engine.
Is that your vacation destination?
All right.
Along my way. Eventually I'll end up at Pro Rhino, but well, we can start over here.
Going to go ahead and search through.
I'm just going to get another copy of Fenrir here.
It's a great backup for sure.
I wonder if he has a copy of Forbidden Droplet in his hand. That would really solve this game very quickly.
Activate Reichphobia.
Yeah, no, he's starting with Reichphobia as well.
That's why he went for the Calarium. He already had his route played out.
I mean, usually you don't want to start with Reichphobia anyway because you get it for free very easily with Lightheart. So, I mean, you play 2 typically just so you have something to get off the Lightheart. It's more follow-up, right? Because you likely play 3 Reicharts now. But he's just going to go through it. Maybe he's trying to... I'm surprised... Because Fenrir is not going to try to attack the Magnifica because Fenrir does target, so Magnifica is going to just be able to chain itself, be able to banish the Fenrir and swap out to Michaelis, so you're not going to want to waste your battle phase doing something like that. So I'm surprised it's not in defense if you're going to be able to potentially just use Reichphobia to destroy the Magnifica, because he only needs 1 more monster in defense to be able to use it.
No, that's absolutely true. He could force out that Magnifica faster if he had put out the Kashtira Fenrir in defense mode, but it looks like it's not part of the plan because here comes the peaceful planet Calarium.
This is just going to likely add the Ream Heart. We did see a multitude of spells in Brennan's hand earlier.
Yes.
So if you control a 15 and a 21 defense.
I think I just realized we haven't seen Visa Samsara this duel at all.
Yeah, no, it really hasn't. Like both the extra deck monster and the level 4 monster has not seen play just yet.
Just classic Visa Starfrost.
Normal summon, attempt effect.
To send.
This is going to search a Mannadium card.
Yeah, this can search either Meek or the Mannadium. I mean, technically there's a lot of Mannadium spells now that you play. A little bit more options than it used to be with just Meek and Obsession.
There's some hidden gems out there. Somebody one day might be playing Fearless.
I think a few weeks ago, there were some other ones being played, but I mean, Reframing is also an easy choice. But I don't know if that's ever going to be in your deck going second.
Probably not, but looks like we're resolving it now, so let's see what we search.
This is going to be the Meek. That makes sense here.
Such a great card.
So we have access to Visa Starfrost. We have access to Meek. And it looks like we're forcing out some responses right now.
Okay. That's fine.
So I think this is going to, it has to get rid of the Fenrir. So Fenrir isn't there to deal with the Michaelis. So it's going to swap out now.
Now, it would be interesting if it wasn't the Michaelis and we just locked the graveyard instead. Right now, thinking just a little bit.
Okay, thrust.
Oh, there's the thrust.
Well, no, tactics really simplifies things. So, yeah, you're going to have to use Ash Blossom there.
Yeah, if you lose that monster, there isn't much left on your field.
Special summon Meek.
Is that an activated effect?
It is not. Activate Visa Starfrost targeting Meek.
There's your activated effect, so that's how we're going to chain.
Yeah, so unfortunately not going to be able to prevent the Visas from destroying the monster because Michaelis is going to come out a little too late. But so we're going to get a few extra monsters here. And that might just be enough. Like once you have this many monsters and Visas, it's pretty simple. I think you're going to have to try to banish the Visa Starfrost here just to like avoid Astrolabe coming out as easily as possible. Yeah, no, this is just enough.
Nothing but net on this deck, going ahead and conceding the game, and so that means Brennan is going to be our winner. Exosister is a great deck, but it just didn't happen this time.
Yeah, like I think when you're able to just have as much output as the Mannadium strategy has, like, yes, there is a good amount of things you can do in the Exosister strategy, but it's not enough to power through all the different layers that the Mannadium deck has. If it has enough engine to play, it has the power to push through.
Absolutely. It just one of those things where I love that we're in this like really going fast makes me feel alive era where synchro summoning just happens and happens and happens, whether it's a new Red Dragon Archfiend support recently released or Mannadium just like this. We're finally in the era of 5Ds again.
Well, I mean, I can't count out the Link monsters. If you're counting, like, I mean, Vrain's just as good as 5Ds. You can have 5Ds is better, but like...
True.
Like,
the anime enjoyers in here are going to be...
like, SP Lil Knight really showing why it was good game 1, because even though it was removed and effectively had its initial interruption, summoning back the Baron, which was able to use its effect again, was the reason he won that game outright.
No, absolutely. Using Baron on the floor, it's like SP Little Knight has figured out a way to do everything, right? It protects your opponent's cards, it protects your cards, it keeps everything moving. But it's one of those things where, like, that card is incredible. If you haven't picked up a set of Age of Overlord, just so you can maybe pull it for yourself, you might think about it just from seeing these top table tournaments can't play.
Absolutely. You definitely can't forget about SP Lil Knight. But we'll be hearing from Brennan as well, seeing how he made his strategy right after this in the interview.